So where we left off, we had 3 boxes, right? And I added so the challenge I gave you, did anybody do this, by the way? It's okay if you didn't. Okay, well, I'll do it now. So we had 3 boxes and each one was separated into a separate component, right? And Z had a legitimate complaint. He's like, what the heck are you doing here? This is ridiculous, right? You're just copying and pasting HTML and putting it in a component. What are you trying to pull? Right? Those weren't his exact words, but something to that effect, right? I'm just messing with you, Z. It's fine. So, but that's right? We don't want to have. What's the point of having 3 separate components when that's all we had in regular HTML, right? So we want this to be dynamic. We want to re-render or set this up to where we only have one box component and our final result looks like this. Okay. So knowing what we know about props, what could I do to where I only have a single box component instead of 3? So I want to write this component such that using props, and let me open up app2, this to the side. So I want to keep my information about my prop styling in here, and I want to pass it down to a single box component. So let me open up my boxes. Box 1, box 2, and box 3. Okay, so what can I take out and put into props?
The background color in the text.
Right, we could do the background color in the text, but let's put that. That's getting a little bit more complex. Let's stick with keep it simple. We'll leave the styling in the individual components for now. Well, you know what? You're right. Let's go with that. So let's say I'm going to take these objects and I'm going to put them in an array. But let's start simple, and I'm just going to do my cloud, completed projects, and contact us, right? So I'm going to set up in my app, which I closed for some reason. I'm just going to create an array. Say const texts, I guess. And we'll set up the array to be, got way too many things open here. First, my cloud. Then completed projects. And contact us. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to just move one of the styles into box. Where's my box? So for right now, we'll just move in box 1 style. So I'm going to take this, copy it, and paste it into box. I'm going to close these. Okay, so style equals, oops. So now I've got, if I go into app, I've got a box. And I'm going to render the box. And what I want it to do is look, I want to get it to look like the first box. Right. So I'm just going to put my box in here. And right now, box just has the word box. Right. So I want to take baby steps. I want to write just a little bit of code. I want to make sure that this is working. So I'm going to go back to, and I broke it. So let's see. Box is not defined. Okay. How do I fix this? Why am I getting this error? Where, first of all, where is the error?
Would that be app.jsx on line 10?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to app.jsx, line 10, and I'm trying to reference box, and I forgot to import it. So I've got to import anything I use in my component, I have to import. So I'm going to import box from components box. Okay, cool. So now I'm able to reproduce box. So how would I get this text into this box? So text, again, I've set up this array of texts. So I want this, I want to be able to pass it down to my box.
Can you do like text bracket 0?
Yeah. So I'm going to set up my component, my child component, and I'm going to just set this up to take in whatever I'm going to set up in the parent component. So I'm going to say, and let's set it up to take in props. Do you guys feel comfortable with the destructuring, or are you still fuzzy on that? Because I can do it the long way if you want. Is everybody okay if I do this? Yeah, no, yeah, okay. Tyler, you're nodding. I'm going to take you as the spokesperson. Okay, so now I can just say in here, text. Okay. So I've set up a prop of text. Now I need to define my key of text in here, right? Because my prop is waiting for a variable called text. So I'm going to give it to it right here. And if I want to pass in a JavaScript expression, I need to use the curly braces. And then I'm going to reference my text array, and I'm going to take the first element. So texts, square bracket, 0. And now I should see my cloud on the 2 boxes, and it works. Okay. Z, what's up?
Sorry, how would the long way look on that one?
Yeah. So if I did it the long way, I would just pass in props. Right? Props is plain old JavaScript object. What I would then need to do, though, is if I wanted to access the key, and let me console log it so we don't. Okay, so now console, I think this is good now. So now props is this object text with a key of text and a value of my cloud. So I want to pull text off of this object. So when I want to render it in here, I'm going to reference props. I'm going to pull off text. Okay. So now we see my cloud again. So what we're doing, does that make sense, D? Does that help?
So, because okay, yeah, that would help. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Oriel, what's up?
question on the props. The
Uh-huh.
only reason we're able to see props on the right-hand side box, props.txt on line 10, but inside of here on line 10, you're technically referencing on the left-hand side on app on line 11, like the dot text is that box text, and then you're just getting whatever you want from that array.
Yes, yes. Exactly. And I'm still
Okay.
doing it. I'm still doing it the long way. We're still going to have 3 different box components. Well, I'm sorry, we're going to have to repeat the box component 3 times, but we'll get to a more efficient way later. But yeah, so
On line 11, is it also possible just to do like text equals just subscript at 0? Like, do we always have to refer to it as text? Is text a keyword? And I know text in plural is just an array. Like, that's just an array.
yeah,
But text, because it's highlighted in yellow, is that like a keyword that you
This is
use in React?
arbitrary. So you pick what this name is for your props. This could be absolutely anything in the
Gotcha.
world. It's just a variable, just a parameter.
yeah, it could be
Okay,
anything.
cool.
But
Cool,
then
thank
if
you.
I set this up as my amazing text, I've got to pull off that key, right? Because that becomes the key in my object. So if I want to get it now, I have to pull off my amazing text. Right. So this here, I'm
Okay.
referencing the array up here, right? So I have to subscript that array because that's where I put my data. But yeah, this can be anything. This is totally, like Christian said, it's arbitrary. And this should still work. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Please ask, because if you're feeling confused, other people are as well. This is a little bit rough going. It takes a while to wrap your head around props. Okay. Cool. So I've got my text and like, I still don't have your voices down. I think it was Tyler said we could take the style as well. So if I wanted to take the style, I got to open my boxes again. How could I move the style into, sorry, can't count. Box 3, box 2, and box 1. So how could I take the style out and pass it in as props? And remember, style is an object. Style is just this. Never opens where I want it to open. We'll put this here. There we go. So the same way we have an array of components like parameters. Yes, yes. Tyler.
So I guess it depends on what it is that we want to change. If it's just the colors, couldn't we do a const colors equals these key names for the colors, so purple and sky blue,
We could,
and
yeah,
then
totally.
pass it in to just overwrite the background color?
Yes, absolutely right. Yeah. So we could say we could make const colors equals, and then the colors are black, purple, and sky blue. So we can have black, purple, and sky blue. SKY. Cool. Yeah. So now how do we get, and we'll just do one for now. We'll just do the first one because I want to get box one to look like, I'm sorry, I want to get my general box component to look like box one. So what do I need to do to set up the color for box one or my box component? Keep losing my box. So I've got my string black right here. So I want to replace this with my props. So instead of hard coding black here, we set up our colors array. So I want this to be passed in as a prop, right? So I need to add that property to my props. So I'm going to say whatever I want, right? The color equals, and then I'm going to take the color out of my array, right? So I'm going to say colors square bracket 0. Okay. So now I have the colors in my props object. I'm still console logging, yeah. Oh, I just no, I didn't. Where is it? The colors. I gotta save my file. There we go. Okay, so the color is now black. The text is my cloud. So how do I pull this black out of here and get it right here?
Would you do props dot the color?
There you go. I need,
Comma,
was it just a comma? It doesn't need to be
Yeah.
wrapped?
just a comma.
Oh, because it's already in an object. Yeah. There we go. Cool. So now I should have a purple box or a black box. Yeah, still works. Cool. So let's replace box 2. Actually, before I jet ahead, any questions?
Couldn't you have just instead of doing, I mean, I don't know if that's like the right way to do it or not, but like in your const colors in the app.jsx,
Mhm.
couldn't you have just made it like an array of like objects, and each object has all the style for each box?
Absolutely. Yeah. And when you say that, I'm glad you used the words right way. There really isn't a right way. There's the way we're doing it is fine. It's different from the way I practiced it. What I practiced it the way you said. But this is totally, if we only want the colors to change, then it might be too much to pass in the whole object, right? But what you're suggesting would work as well. You're absolutely right.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And that works the same way. All you have to do is just do like div style equals like props dot styles, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I'll demo it that way too, but let's finish doing it this way because I don't want to like jump
Okay,
around.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty much I can comment out box 1 because we basically have it set up here. So I want to do the same for box 2. So I want to get, so if I did that, I'm going to have 2 box 1s again. So this is my box 1. I want this one to be my box 2. And then we can comment this one out. So I want essentially these 2 to match. So what do I need to change in my component declaration here to get it to match?
The indexes.
Yep, exactly, the indexes. So instead of 0, I'm going to take 1 and 1. And there we go. And it's actually, wait. Now I'm confused. Let me comment out this 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. We're using box one styling. So the spacing is going to be off. So what if we wanted to do and get them exactly right, right? We might want to do what Z is suggesting, right? So instead of passing in individual colors, we could pass in the entire object. Okay, but any questions before we change gears too much? Okay, let me just get a quick check. Oh boy, okay. Okay, so let me just share results. Okay, so if you're now, I feel like the person I'm losing you. You're falling farther away from me. So please reach out to me after I'd be happy to go over it with you. Okay, did I share? Yeah. All right. So let's do Z's way. So Z, how would I set up my array?
So you do like const, yeah, like styles equals an array of objects.
So I'm going to
So
go through and
three.
I'm going to take all of my objects that I'm now using for styling. So I'm going to copy this one. And I'm going to paste it in my array. Comma. Then I'm going to take box 2 styling. Uh-oh. There it is. I'm sorry. I'm going to copy it, paste it in my array. Then I'm going to take box 3 styling. And paste it in here. Okay. So now in my box, instead of rendering the style here, I'm going to set my style and my props now, right? So when I call my box, I'm going to leave text, but I'm going to say that the style is now whichever style I want to reference. Okay, so I'm going to say instead of the color, it's going to be the style. And it's going to be styles at 0. Okay, same thing for box 2, or the second box, it's going to be the style equals styles 1. Okay, so now the text should be right, the style should be right. Let's see if it works. Oh, they're gone.
No, you never did it on the
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
box JSX.
Yeah. So I gotta change the style. Probably time to take a break. Okay, so I'm going to take this and so I'm passing an object, right? So I'm going to take this represents an object. So I'm just going to put that here. So it's going to be the style. I'm sorry, props dot the style. There we go. Okay, so now box 3 is the only one we haven't changed, but now it should work. I can replace box 3, just comment it out, with a third instance of our box component. So I'm just going to change the array indices to 2. And now we have, it's still not perfect, right? We're still repeating ourselves, but we've fixed it to the point where we don't have three separate components, right? So now the box 1, box 2, box 3, those are no longer even required. We have a single component that is dynamic, and if we added new styles and new boxes, then it would just render them dynamically, right? So if we had 300 boxes, there would be 300, and they would render the way we set up the style in our parent component. Cool. Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to stop there. My challenge to you is do this without referencing the individual pieces of the array, right? So we have array methods that will allow us to do this without making three boxes. So we can use an array method that will then render these, and it'll be much cleaner, and we don't have to, we can basically use a loop, is what I'm trying to say.
Because remember, React, if you try to render an array, it's going to render each of the individual elements of the array. It's not going to render the square brackets. It's not going to render the commas. It's just going to render each individual item of the array. If you just do curly braces and you just make an array, that's what you'll see. You just see each of the individual items of the array.
Yeah.
So if you have something that can generate an array of components, it'll just render the components.
Yeah. That's part of the magic of React. If you give React an array of valid JSX, it'll just know to render the array of JSX. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I feel like I've been talking way too long. Stop sharing. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me? I think I froze.
We can hear you.
Okay. I'm spinning though. Uh-oh. Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I might have to, my computer's freezing, so I might have to leave, but I'll be back. Okay. I guess I didn't get kicked out.
Oh, that's good. You're still recording though.
Yeah.
So.
I'll stop the recording.